Okay, quick little video on setting the PID controller. Once you have your steer 0 set and your counts per degree, like how many counts from the Arduino make up 1 degree of actual wheel turning, and your minimum pulse width modulation, that's the minimum amount of power, which goes from 0 to 255, to start turning that motor. You don't want to sit and build up, and then the motor starts. What that does is it increases the base value. Proportional gain is just like a volume control derivative. That's what happened in the past, and it slows it down. Overall gain multiplies these two by this number. The integral is accumulation of error over time. It's 0.1, and then it's 0.1, well that's 0.2. If it's still 0.1, now it's 0.3. If it's 0.1 again, now it's 0.4. So that keeps building up and building up. And then this is the max amount of error. These numbers anyway, are the maximum amount of pulse width that is driven to the motor. So let's get going. Put it in drive. So we see our steer is 0. We set that to -5. And as we turn it up, and slowly starts to turn. But we set it for 5, and now it's only 3.2. So this error is the difference between the set point and what the wheel actually is. That's what the integral reads. It says it multiplies this up. So now if we take the integral, see? This is the amount of gain of integral. How quickly do we want to accumulate that error? So if we just do proportional gain, set it back to 0. It's pretty good all on its own. But you can see still a little bit of error. So if we make this too high, now we go to 5. It wiggles back and forth, and that's no good either. So that's proportional gain is too high. So we go back down about 30. Pretty good. Now we start adding some integral to it. See, if we turn this down now, if you want a quicker response, turning up the minimum amount so that it never goes below 10. So as soon as there's a signal to tell it to turn, it's already 10 points ahead. So now if we go to 5, it goes a little past. This is a super responsive motor. But you can see what these effects do. If we turn that down, then it's really quiet. It's not as fast now. Maybe that's not a problem. So once it goes from -5 to 0, that's a pretty good place to start. You don't want it oscillating back and forth. You don't want it sitting away from the line forever and that sort of thing. You want it to respond nice and quick. But you don't want it to overshoot either. So that's a quick way to set PID.